Hi, I'm Arthur Moats, and I'm here to talk to you about my book, The Moats Theory of Life, and the amazing holiday deal we have going on right now. If you purchase a hardback book, you will receive a paperback copy half off as part of our holiday bundle. This book makes for a great gift for yourself or others and will leave you feeling inspired and impactful. So go to moatstheory.com right now and get your copy so you can start living a more fulfilled life. What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, man?
My brother.
What's good?
Man, you know the usual. Another day, another episode brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook and app. Not only is it safe, but it is secure, and most importantly, it is reliable, Deke. And for all those first-time users out there, you know the first-time users. We were all first times at once. It happens.
You don't know if you really want to get into the betting. You love sports.
Yeah, you kind of iffy, like, I don't know. But then you hit them with this. This is the deciding factor. For all those first time users out there that are on the fence, if you use the promo code MOATS, just the promo code MOATS, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. So if that doesn't get you off the fence, I don't know what will, because I love free money, baby. So with that being said, download the app, use the promo code, and get an opportunity to make a little money, baby. Speaking of opportunities, man, we got an opportunity to do something in Pittsburgh that has not been done since 2016. Win a playoff game. Damn. Wow. Win a playoff game, man. I mean, this is our first show previewing a Steelers playoff matchup as well.
It is.
This is unprecedented right now. This is the first time y'all have watched us preview a Steelers playoff matchup. I mean, they said it was Super Wildcard week, and they really meant it. Super Wildcard! I love it. I'm so excited, man. Are you excited about Super Wildcard weekend?
I completely forgot that, we're going to have games Saturday. Big time games on Saturday even. It
started out Saturday 1 o'clock. It starts crazy.
Because I was making plans with someone yesterday about like some type of meeting or business, whatnot. And I said, let's meet up Saturday, whatever, during the day. And they mentioned something about the games. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. So it's going to be great.
And for us too, future opponents too, like the Saturday 1 o'clock, if we win and they win, that's who we're looking at. That's who we're going to be facing. So yeah, I mean, and then from there, you go down the list of all the different ones that are going to be ahead of us, especially the AFC ones. You're like, man, we tuning in. But this game's on all weekend. That's going to be fire.
And it's good because it's in every time slot. Because you think of like just a normal Sunday, you have the 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the nighttime. Yep. In this case, we have that, but it's just one game. It's just one big game every time.
Absolutely. And I like the fact that it's both Saturday and Sunday. Because sometimes I get a little, with the Saturday college football matchup, sometimes you got to wait till the nighttime to get a good one. We're not going to have to worry about that this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we action-packed. We're good to go, man. So I'm definitely excited about that, man. But yeah, it's a big-time opportunity for the Steelers. Like I said, have not won a playoff game since 2016. This is their first appearance since 2017. So, man, this is a big opportunity. And for some of these guys, a good amount of them, actually, this is going to be their first playoff opportunity as well, man. The guys who were on the team in 17, you had Ben, you have Pouncey DeCastro, Juju. But yeah, Juju was a baby. Then TJ Watt was a baby.
Was Hayden on the team?
Yes, that was Hayden's first year with
21.
us. Yeah. So let's see. Those are 6. And then James Conner, but he was hurt then.
Yeah. Because Bell was the guy.
Yeah, Bell was still the guy. And but James was on IR, and then that's what I'm saying. He wasn't even around at that part of the year when we were getting ready for the playoffs and stuff like that. So that's why I'm just going through this list of who else was up there. We said Vince already. No Edmonds, no Minka. Was Tuitt available then in 2017? I would have to look. I don't know if he was hurt or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that was around that time where he was still missing time with the injuries and stuff. So I'm not sure. But not a lot of guys on that roster with playoff experience compared to doing that run of 14 to 17 where you had literally everybody up there going back to back or 4 times in a row. It was a lot more playoff experience. So I am going to be interested to see how these younger receivers, especially how they respond in this one, because for Juju, we talked about, I mean, you said Juju, I mean, he played in the playoffs, but in that Jaguars game, his impact, he didn't have a lot of it.
I remember a lot of AB and Martavis.
That was it. I mean, he might have had a couple of catches, but nothing significant. I'm sure we could pull it up at some point, but.
Watch, he has a touchdown or something.
No.
No, you don't got to pull it up. I'm just saying it'd be funny.
I'm almost certain on this thing, man. But because what I'm alluding to is he doesn't have that playoff experience that people would naturally think he would have being a Steelers wide receiver.
Over-under?
Right?
What are you thinking? Over/under? 50 yards?
I think it was 20.
You're saying 20?
I'm thinking it's around 20.
You know what? I'm saying over. What's your over/under though? Like, what's the mark? Are we saying over/under like 40?
You could say, yeah, we could say 40.
40.
Over under 40.
I'll take the over.
I'm taking the under.
Okay.
All right, so let's pull this thing up.
I'm saying 4 receptions.
All right. Let's see. Playoff stats. Let's get to one playoff game, full playoff game log.
I'm actually really excited for this.
All right. Are you ready for this? In 2017, Jacksonville Jaguars, at the age of 21 years old, 5 targets, 3 catches, 5 yards.
No way.
Averaged 1.67 yards per catch, but he did have a touchdown, though. So you were right on that.
Okay.
He did have a touchdown. Yes. And he had a kick return for 23 yards.
So it really was all AB Martavis. Bell was featured in the passing game.
Le'Veon caught the touchdown on Telvin Smith in the end zone. Okay. That was like the big deal on that play. Yeah, absolutely. But
so who was even I don't even remember who our 4th receiver was.
It wasn't No.
Was it Hayward Bay?
Well, we were using Hayward Bay, but I'm trying to think, was Wheaton still on the team?
No.
We're talking 17.
No, Wheaton was on the team.
When did he leave then?
It
wasn't that much further. I know for a fact we got multiple years together.
Oh, trust me. Yeah, it was like the year or two prior to that.
Let's see.
Because we had Coates too.
So 17 was his first year gone.
Okay.
Went to Chicago. That was his first year gone. So that was the year, yeah. So it had to been a combination of Sammy Coates, Darius Hayward Bay during that time frame then.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But that receiving core, dude.
Oh, it was filthy.
That's something I look back on. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it was filthy, bro. But not a lot of playoff experience with any of those guys. And as we even heard with Juju, even, less impactful than we even thought. So it's going to be interesting to see how they respond to that, because those are going to be the guys that provide that wave. Those are going to be the guys that have to provide that spark, that splash to make this offense move. We talked about this offense this year. They're predicated on the big plays, right? We said they don't give you a lot of these long drives where they're methodical, running the ball and stuff like that. They move the ball on the deep shots. We saw last week with Mason Rudolph, they were able to capitalize on that. So we're going to need to see them respond in a big time way in a prime time matchup, the last playoff matchup of the wild card round. Like, all eyes are going to be on them. How do they respond to that? Is the moment going to be too big for them, or are they going to thrive in it? So that's going to be the big question, because like I said, the offense is going to be based on them. Ben can do what he does, but if they're not catching the ball, if they're not getting open, it's not going to matter. Like, they got to ball out. It's that simple. And they have the best matchup too.
I was gonna say they definitely have the advantage.
They have the best matchup right now, man. With the between COVID injuries, the Browns secondary is bad right now. It's bad. And then you talk about, okay, if you got a bad secondary, how do you combat that? Give me a great pass rush. They just lost Olivier Vernon, who was, I think he had 9 or 10 sacks this year. So he's right in that same vein, but you lose him. Myles Garrett is still dealing with the COVID stuff. He's already been very vocal about that as well. When you throw that combination in there, it's setting up bad for those DBs and making it look really good for our wide receivers. So knowing what they did last week and the things that we just talked about right there, I'm really excited to see them, because if they can respond, they can do something special and really get this run started.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about running in terms of James Conner, but like this playoff run started.
Yeah.
But they got to provide that wave, and we're going to be leaning on them heavy.
Yeah, and to even top it off, you talk about the injuries or COVID list and stuff. Denzel Ward, and then there are other, I think he's like, I don't know, he plays a decent amount of snaps. Kevin Johnson, they're on this COVID list. There's some uncertainty there if they're going to come back or not. I know they didn't play in last game, but if they don't come back in this game, we get Ben back. Dude, it'd be nice. It could be really nice for us.
And I probably should look this thing up again. But with Denzel, because he was a positive COVID, I feel like he's in the same boat as Joe Hayden. That's
right.
Why
they just haven't officially cleared him yet.
Correct. Yeah. So that's why they're like that. Whereas with guys like Eric Ebron and Cassius Marsh, they got back activated today, was because they were only close contact. So as a close contact, your isolation period is a lot shorter than an actual positive. So I don't anticipate Denzel Ward being back out there unless something changes, similar with Joe Hayden. We talked about that as well. Unless something changes from a testing standpoint, yeah, they're not going to be available. But for us, that loss isn't as bad compared to with those guys with the injuries they already have on that back end. That is huge. That's a huge loss for them right there, man. But that's why we're talking about this matchup and why the wide receivers, man, is so much riding on them, because they have to provide. That has to be the mismatch, and they have to take advantage of it, because in their Browns front seven, they still have enough guys in there to cause a little bit of trouble. You know, they can still do that. And we saw it show up a little bit last week. So to me, I just feel like, man, when you have as glaring of a weakness on their secondary as they have, and these receivers who are coming off one of their best games of the season, you got to go back to that well. Until they prove otherwise, I feel like you got to go back to it, man.
Well, it's weird because we have the past 3 or 4 game sample of the offense being so, some drops, just some calamity on offense. But it's that Colts game, that second half, where you're like, damn, dude. And actually, even last game against the Browns with some of the stuff we were doing in the offense and in the passing game. That's really it. Can we see more of that in this game and going forward in the playoffs? Because I think you're right. We have the talent at receiver. We have the quarterback in Big Ben. We have all the recipe there. I mean, the running game
reminded me of something too when you talked about the game last week. Keep going. I got you. I'm gonna drop it to you in a second.
Okay, but yeah, I guess the main concern is the running game then, and I guess too, back to what I was saying about the past 3 or 4 games. What are we gonna see more of? I'm hoping that second half of Colts and even in that Browns game and for most of the season, how we were able to move the ball with the short passing game and some of the passes. That's what I'm hoping for. So I think this is a good matchup as our first game.
I agree.
To get that going. You don't want to overlook anything, but maybe we could get some momentum here. And that's what
you need it, man.
And that's what we talk about. You want to be hot going into the playoffs. And even though right now our hot is a little shorter than what you would maybe like,
it's hot enough.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hot enough.
You got a little spark. And maybe that spark is going to hit. And we're going to be hitting our stride here at the right time.
Absolutely. And what I'm doing right now, because when we talked, you
got me nervous here.
Oh, no. You're good. You're good. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure I say the guy's name right, man, because when you were talking about the offense last week, we brought up Josh Dobbs, right? And some of the wildcat stuff that he was doing in terms of some of the zone read stuff, throwing the ball a little bit. And we had asked, hey man, could he become a Cordell Stewart type? Could we throw the ball to him? We never seen him catch the ball. And then we heard Ben yesterday in his press conference, I want to say it was yesterday. Yeah, he says he's open to them using Dobbs in the offense like that. So when we said to the subscribers, hey man, if y'all have any video footage of Josh Dobbs catching a pass, throw it to us. Like, let us know. And no lie, I want to pull his name up. Kevin Burns, shout out to you. Sends me an email, talks about how he watched the show, he was listening to us, and he sends me a clip of Dobbs catching a pass at Tennessee. It was kind of like the Philly special. Like they ran that, and it was a touchdown too. Now, granted, it was probably like
it was just like a little flow.
It was like a little 10-yard pass. Okay. Yeah, but he definitely caught it. I was like, all right, so shout out to Kevin. But that's why I had to put. I'm like, I wanted to make sure I said his name. You know, we give him a little credit. But he definitely sent me that, and sure enough, it's the Philly special. You see Dobbs back there, quarterback. All right, walks over here to the side, snap the ball. They're here. He falls out, catches it in the end zone. So I'm like, all right, okay, he can catch. He caught the touchdown. So we haven't seen him not catch. Put it like that.
It's better than dropping it.
Yes, if he would have dropped it, we kill him. But we haven't seen him not catch the ball. So there we go. But man, I wanted to think too, or not even think about. I just wanted to get your thoughts on this as well, though, man. Hearing Ben say that he is open to them potentially using Dobbs, and we saw how much of a spark it provided for us offensively, and not only the wrinkle, but it really helped our running game out, man. It added a whole nother element to that offense. Hearing Ben say he's open to it, I know how strongly you feel about 7 coming off the field or not having the ball in his hands for another quarterback coming on the field, or a utility person, gadget player. So yeah, just talk about that, man. What's your thoughts?
I just don't think this is the game for it. I don't think this is the moment to be doing this type of stuff.
It worked last week, though.
I understand.
That was a big part of last week.
I understand that.
Huge part of last week, man. It was huge.
I understand that, but dude, I'm telling you, if we go down and we try to run maybe 2 or 3 of those plays and they don't work,
Why do you have to do them when you go down though?
Huh?
Why do you wait till you go down to try these?
No. No, I'm saying if we go down in the game, we lose the game, and we do 2 or 3 of those plays and they don't work, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be more pissed. It kind of goes back to the whole thing that we were talking about last week. About what was the question about people bringing in Mason if things aren't going too well? Like, I don't want that at all. I kind of feel the same way about this one. Yeah. But I told you I was open for this type of stuff down the line. I'm not feeling it for this game.
Even if that meant we would win a Super Bowl, you wouldn't win it?
Huh? No, I would. I mean, it goes back to what Ben said. Like, whatever it takes to win, that's some leadership right there. So if it does help, then I'm not going to be complaining. You know what I mean? If he comes in and he gets like 20 yards on the ground or something like that on 2 carries, okay, it's helping us. So like, all right. But when it does, I told you, I'm going to be straight up about this.
So would you be more mad if he got stopped on a 3rd and 1 doing that, or if Ben threw a pick? That's the real question.
Yeah, I'd be more mad about the 3rd and 1 stop.
Holy cow! All right, fair enough. It's not like crazy. It's just like, all right, figured. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I would be.
Fair enough.
It depends on the timing of the game and all that type of stuff. But yeah,
I'm saying just because, like I said, are identical. Game on the line, whatever, or not even game on the line, just whatever it is, whatever the situation is, they have to be identical though. Identical situations. He gets stopped on 3rd and 1. You still got 4th down, obviously, or you get the interception by Ben. I
don't think we're doing that late in the game though.
We threw a wheel route to Anthony McFarland on 4th and 1 with the game on the line versus Washington. What do you mean?
No, but that's still Ben throwing the ball.
It was still to a running back. It was still very much out the ordinary, out the box.
It was wide open. I mean,
that was wide open.
It was.
People don't like that wide open. People ain't like that.
Huh?
Some people don't feel it was wide open.
No, it was wide open. Dude. Right. No way.
So why wasn't it complete then?
I don't know. You could say maybe he made a bad pass. I don't think it was a bad pass. McFarland maybe didn't have the best.
To Anthony McFarland.
I mean, it hit off his hand. I don't know.
Back shoulder throw to a running back that don't even dress all the time.
I thought it was a good pass, dude. He was wide open. Now some people want to argue one way or another, but I thought it was a good pass. I don't want to blame McFarland because that's. You're right. He is a running back. That's not his specialty, but it just didn't work. But I'm good going down like that as opposed to a 3rd and 1. 2 minutes left, and we try to run it with Dobbs, and then it doesn't work.
But at least you live to fight another day, though. The turnover, you don't live to fight another day.
Well, it depends. Like, we're punting the ball if it's 3rd down, right?
No, I said you still have 4th down. That's what I said. I said you still would have 4th down.
This is us going for a game-winning drive here.
Yeah, say this is 3rd and 1. We bring Dobbs in, and he got stopped. Now you have to decide for 4th down, right? But you told me that the 3rd and 1 stop.
Well, I didn't know all this. Yeah,
I said all the factors. I said I want the factors identical though, so that way we don't have to do the whole what if and what if. Like everything identical, whatever scenario it is, identical. That's what I'm looking at it as. Versus Dobbs getting stopped versus Ben throwing the pick. That's all I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, I end of the day, because you could do this like back and forth and stuff. Because if we do have a 4th down and we keep going for it, then you don't want to throw a pick. That's I don't really care about that. Right. I don't want to throw a pick. Right. I want to have a 4th down. But just the essence of it is I'd rather go down with 7 as the quarterback,
which we both did.
Which I could live with. Yeah. I could live with that. I don't want to be doing this experimenting now. Like we said, if we want to talk about the off season going into next year or a year or 2 down the line where Dobbs is like a new slash for us, Randall, whatever it is, then that's a whole different discussion.
See, I think for me, the reason why I'm open to it now is because we've heard Ben say he's open to it. Last week, when we talked about this, well, not even last week, we talked about this earlier in the week, we both agreed it worked. It was beautiful. And we said, man, if you have the situation where you have quarterbacks that you can do that with, sure. We said the Saints, the reason why it worked is because Drew Brees had to be open to it initially, right? We said, well, we didn't say this, but Baltimore tried to do something similar initially with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco didn't go for it. And that's how that whole, tumultuous little situation started with them where Joe Flacco wouldn't even talk to him or sit next to him. That's how that whole thing started. So we were always trying to figure out, what's Ben going to be? Is Ben going to be more of the Drew Brees or he's going to be more Joe Flacco? Turns out
Ben's a leader.
Well, he verbally said it. And for me, he's never lied. So I'm like, all right, if he says it, cool. But I also feel like if he said it, then we should do it because our running game without that throughout the past 4 games was terrible. We can all agree it was terrible. We saw when we started doing that with Dobbs, how it opened it up for all of the guys, not just Dobbs. The running game looked a lot better. So to me, if Ben is open to it, which he already said he is, you have to run the ball. That's what made everything work in the Cleveland game this time around was them being able to run the ball, and then they were able to hit the shots deep. But it was because they were multifaceted. So if that's what it's going to take, yes, bring it in. I don't think it's on the fly because you've already done it. Last week was the on the fly version. This week you're replicating. You're just repeating what you've already done. It's not like we're trying to create something new here. So that's why for me, I'm like, hey, all right, I'm with it. He said he's with it. I believe him. Let's do it.
Okay. Like,
yeah.
If he's, like I said, if
he said he was good,
if he's open to it, I said I was open to it. But like, if you're asking me, like, what would I rather be doing?
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing that. But I'm not going to come back here and say if it works, like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. We should have let Ben throw the pass. I'm with Ben. I'd rather have the team have some success too. I'm about the team as well, despite what a lot of people think.
Well, because you say that, but then we've asked you pretty much basically, hey, would you want us to win the Super Bowl if Ben wasn't the quarterback this year? We had to switch the quarterbacks in the middle of the playoff run. You were like, man, I don't know how I feel about that. And I'm like, bro, it'd be the Steelers winning the Super Bowl. You're like, I just don't know. Like,
this is
you see what I mean? Like this.
No, this isn't accurate here.
What? So if we win a Super Bowl this year, but Mason has to come in and be the guy, not Ben getting injured, they got to switch Ben out because he's playing bad and Mason takes over. You gonna be as happy for that 7th Super Bowl? No. You've already told us this, man. You've already said this.
I can be happy, no?
No. We said, would you be as happy as if Ben was doing it? You said you had some type of feelings. You weren't really.
I think a lot of people would feel that.
No, people would be hyped about the 7th Lombardi.
I would too. Wait, I would too. What do you mean? It wouldn't feel right if it's not Ben, though. I'm just telling you.
It would feel like the 7th Lombardi. You think Philly celebrated any differently because it was Nick Foles instead of Carson Wentz?
I'm not saying that. I would celebrate. I would be thrilled.
They were hyped. They weren't talking about some, man, it don't feel the same because it wasn't Wentz. I mean, I'm happy, but I'm not.
Dude, I'm not all the way happy. Ben and Wentz, what they mean to the city, it's completely different.
I'm just saying, at the time, though, not at the time, Wentz, remember, MVP, front runner.
No, it's completely different.
That's what you told me, man.
No, dude, come on. We know Ben's status with the city versus Wentz.
That's what you told me, man.
Even though he had a good dude, he still didn't win a Super Bowl though. Like Ben actually won championships for us. He's been here for what, 17, 18 years.
They both got rings though.
Right.
They do.
Yeah. No, I would definitely be thrilled, dude. I definitely would be thrilled, but I can't lie and say it wouldn't feel the same without 7. I'm just saying.
I can respect that.
Especially if he's still on the roster and stuff. Yeah. He's retired. It's a whole different story.
Right. But my whole thing was if he was playing bad to the point where we had to make that switch. I know you. That's what I'm saying. Like you don't be feeling the same way sometimes.
I wouldn't be thrilled about that. I just wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't feel the same without 7. That's all. Good,
man. I'm just trying to get the ring. As long as we win it, that's all I care.
I would be happy with the Super Bowl, though. Yes.
As long as we win it, that's all I care about. But it is good to know that you are open to it as well. I had to check because, like I said, 7 was open to having a little extra, quarterback come on the field. I just need to check with you before we make that call to Randy Feekney.
Like I said, it's multi-layers. I'm open to it. I'm not like thrilled about it or pushing for it. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, I will not be happy about it. I'll tell you that right now.
I wonder how. This is a good question, man. You should put this up there in terms of like, when you do your polls and you're asking questions like,
sure,
man, is the Super Bowl the same if 7 isn't the guy? Like, are you still as hype about it? That'd be a good question because I'm sure it's a good amount of people that feel like you. I'm positive it is, man.
You're still hype, but it's like, damn, it would have been, it would have been right if.
And I feel like I don't think I could fully understand it because I wasn't like the fan since he was here and watched him all this journey. You know what I mean? Like it's different for me. So I'm like, maybe you're right. Maybe it's more of y'all like that than the other way.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, with this whole situation, I'm open to it. Not thrilled about it. Not pushing for it. If it does happen, it works. Cool. If not, I will be pissed about it.
So are you telling me that I shouldn't take the approach of what my man said the other day when he's like, hey, call up Missy and Labs and send the message to Coach T? Should I do that? Or should I like go deliver this hand? You know what I mean? Like I go knock on Randy's door, my mask on obviously because social distance. Like, hey Randy, the people said we want to see the Dobbs action. We making that move yet or not?
Well,
it's your call. You let me know.
You're saying we, as in Steeler Nation.
Yeah, we want to see it.
If you're asking me to represent that, I mean, that's a lot of people I'm representing here.
Yeah. So I understand you're going to do it to the best of your ability, right?
I might let them down, and I'm going to say no. Oh, you can put in parentheses, I'm open to it, but a big N-O.
All I'm with it there, baby. I'm with it. All right.
But be open to it throughout the game.
Hey, if you surprise me, cool. But I'm not suggesting it, all right?
Yeah, maybe when we're up like 20 or something like that.
I can dig it, man. I can dig it. All right. So we're talking about our offense right there a little bit. Trying to think. We don't know anything about Matt Filer right now, right? I believe I'm still trying to see because we're still waiting to get the updated practice report from today. Saying,
well, if we're sticking with offense, then I mean, if he comes back though, what are we doing? What are we doing? Come on.
Well, this is the thing. So I know what I would do, but it's gonna hurt feelings, and that's that.
Whoa, wait. Is this deep here? Is this deeper than we think about your offensive line rotation?
We're talking about offensive line.
Are you gonna?
I rank my top 5, and I know who are my top 5 best linemen, who are my top 2, top 3 best linemen, and who aren't. And I'm gonna make sure if it's me that I have my best 5 out there. So yeah, I'm not gonna make a guy play in a position that he's not comfortable with, as Dotson has already said on the show. He already said.
Whoa.
I already told you. I said if this is me doing it, it's different. But that's why I said, and the reason I said it is because of this, right? And I said it with her films because people view, you got that nostalgia. I love this guy, man. I've watched him do it similar to how you are with Ben, right? Love this guy. Watch this guy. He's a contract guy, Pro Bowler, all pro and this and that. But when you're watching tape right now, you look at the people that are struggling the most right now, and it's not the people that people want to, move this guy over here because, it's got to be, it's that guy. No, it is not. For a fact, it is not. But they don't want to have that conversation, and they're not going to make that move. So that's why for me, when everybody's on this whole, man, we need Dotson out to get Dotson at left guard, I'm like, Dotson needs to be on the field, yes. Dotson don't need to be a left guard, though. But like I said, man, to each his own, baby.
You saying a swap then, potentially? A guard swap.
You call it how you want to call
Changing
it, man.
of the guard.
Because people over here, hey, man, well, if Fowler comes back, he don't need to be out there. Move Fowler to right tackle. Oh, Chuk's playing bad? I didn't think Chuk's was playing that bad. Oh, Matt can't play left guard. No, that ain't the case either. No, okay. But like I said, man,
that's not happening. So
it's not right. So that's why I'm like, you can do whatever you want in terms of trying to get Dotson on the field. I think it's really going to be predicated solely though on
you got to keep him on the field though. I think.
But why is that? Because I know the whole narrative, and we talked about this, right? The narrative of when Dotson is out there, the O-line is that much better, man, and he is impactful without a doubt. But to act as it, because the way people phrase it is not that, okay, he's playing so well, then they turn it into it's because Fowler is not out there. Fowler isn't playing. We'll get him about. I'm like, no. The problem, we talked about the interior portion of the line of scrimmage. That has still been struggling. Dotson in the lineup or not, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and like I said, it's just the interior portion of it. Even last night, we're breaking down some tape.
Are you going to go through this whole thing without mentioning names?
Because I feel uncomfortable because that's my guy. And that's it's my guys. There's a couple of those on the offensive line that are like my guys. And I'm like, y'all are kind of the ones struggling. I'm not saying like it happens. It's football. Like you go through spans when you're playing well, when you're playing bad. And at the same time, Father Time, they say he's undefeated. It happens. It's just showing up a little bit more than usual right now. And that's why, to me, I don't think that's going to fix this thing. I feel like to really fix it, you got to do that type of move, but they're not doing that. They're not doing that. And it ruffles too many feathers. But that is more the case than just, Dotson need to be a left guard, don't put Fowler back out, or put Fowler right tackle. I don't think that's the answer, personally. And I do think Fowler is a better right tackle. I'm not even saying that.
Would it help incrementally, though? Which you need every little advantage.
It would, but I still feel like that incremental increase is still very much lateral. It's like all right, we're going to move up a half a step. It's not, whereas if you do what I was talking about in terms of Dotson right guard, you got Fowler at left guard, Chooks at right tackle, I still feel like that is a bigger upgrade. That's going to be something that you can feel and see. The difference of like, I'm trying to think, man, if you're looking at something that's already, I don't even know how to describe this thing, man.
Well, dude, actually, you think back to early in the season, DeCastro was out. I mean, that's the lineup we were doing.
But that was the whole reason why we kept saying Dotson. Where was he at? He was at right guard.
Yeah.
And then when he came back and he was at left guard, the running game still was struggling. We talked about that. We said, man, even with Dotson, it still wasn't right. But who was at the other side? It was like, But nobody wants to talk about that because of, like I said, the nostalgia, the accolades. And even me and you, when we said these two offensive linemen made Pro Bowls and are starters this year in the Pro Bowl.
I'm waiting for the All-Pro.
And we're like, how? Like, we're watching the same tape. But it's like I said, man, when it comes to, the nostalgia of some of these players, and they've done great things. And we're not saying that they're, past their prime or anything like that, but it's like, if we're just talking about getting your best 5 out there.
You could have a bad stretch or something.
Right. And that's all we're saying. We talked about Ben when he had a little bad stretch, right? And then we all said, well, when he got out of it, we talked about that as well. This is one of the ones right here. He's had between the injuries. I don't know if it's a health thing or whatever, but right now, he's not one of their top 5 guys to me right now, just because of some of those things. Like I said, it could be injury related. And I don't doubt that injuries have played a large part of that. But to me, I'd rather have 100% of a guy that is an 8 than 70% of a guy that is a 10. I just don't feel like a guy that isn't 100% healthy is going to help your team when you got guys that are 100% healthy and maybe they're a little bit less athletic, right? Maybe they're a little less, powerful, but they are still really good players. And you can count on that. You don't have to worry about, man, is this guy going to be able to anchor against a bull? Man, can this guy move his feet with the shuffle? Man, can this guy do this? You don't have to worry about that. So to me, that's why I said that would be my approach. But obviously, like I said, I'm not in that position. And I don't want to be in that position because Coach Tomlin got way more patience than me. I'm telling you, some of the moves Coach Tomlin makes and then the questions they ask him and how people talk about him on social media, I ain't got time for none of that. It would have been a way different press conference tone when I make these and how could you do, boy? See, yeah, it would be a totally different level. So that's why I'm not.
You've made your decision in life. You're talking on a mic with me.
Absolutely. So I could tell you what I would do. It works. Sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, I have my beliefs.
So what I would do, I'd move Fowler to right, keep Dotson in. We'll keep that legacy intact on that left or that. Wait, did I say it wrong? Did I say Dotson left on that right guard? We'll keep the legacy in here. Flip the switch for the playoffs. I think we got the incremental change on the offensive line here, and things could be going good moving forward.
I hope you're right, man.
Like you said, if it's just incremental, I'll take that. I will take that.
I hope you're right. I just like how incremental is very general of a statement. It's kind of like gray area. Gray area could be this or it could be this. Just say gray area. It makes it all sound good. I'll take that incremental increase because we don't know if incremental is like half a step. Is it 2 steps? Is it 1 step?
It might be 4 times.
Is it like 0.001 of a step?
Either way, I'll take it in the playoffs, whatever it is.
To each his own.
Yeah.
That's all. To each his own.
But I think everyone gets what you're saying because it's just like this would be just flat out better.
It would.
I think everyone gets that.
It would. But like I said, we're not doing that right now. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
but shout out to Dotson though, man. Shout out to Dotson. I like Dotson. I do.
We got to keep him in the game. I don't care what happens. I think he's just got to be in the game.
I just
left
feel
guard,
like
right guard, whatever
me,
it is.
It just feels like contradiction when people are like, man, I want Dotson out there. I want my best players to play, right? Because that gives us the best chance to win. But then when you really break it down, they're like, well, I want to win, but not that. Kind of like what I was looking with you with the whole Ben analogy, right? It's like, I want it, but I don't know if I want it that bad. All right. I need certain people. They, you know what I mean? Like for certain people, they want to see those guys out there because they're like, man, I remember this. I remember the pool. I remember this block. I remember that. And it's like, that's great. And they were impactful at that moment. But right now, there are guys that are playing better than them right now. And that's the only thing we're kind of getting at with it, man. But yeah.
Understood.
I like it. I like it though.
What do we got? Defense then?
Time to talk a little dark side of the ball. I love it.
Well, they're in trouble.
Big time.
They're in trouble.
Big time.
They're losing. They're losing the Pro Bowl left guard, Bitonio. He's on all over these like NFL 100 vids that they do with these players. He's a beast. He's always talking about other players. I think you know what? I think he was on that Cam Hayward one. That's what it was. He was talking about how good Cam Hayward was. That's the only reason I really recognize him. But he made the Pro Bowl 3 times over these past couple of years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 3 times over these past couple of years. That makes sense. 3 times out of 2 years.
Three in a row, baby. Balling.
But so he's gone, and we're getting our guys back. So,
and along with the fact that for the second week in a row now, their whole right side of the offensive line is still listed as questionable in terms of Jack Conklin, their right tackle, who is good when healthy. He's listed as questionable. Then they also have Wyatt Teller and J.C. Treader, the center. Actually, I should call him center/players coach because Yeah, we said this. I think we said this earlier too. He had to actually coach the O-line last week. He was the legit player coach because the O-line coach and the assistant O-line coach were both out because of COVID going into the game. Had no clue about that. Yeah,
I had no clue either.
I had no clue.
Hilarious.
The only reason I found out, we were talking with one of the Browns beat writers on another show I do, and he was the one who was kind of like pointing out. He was like, "Man, they already had like crazy adversity last week with these people and that people." He was like, literally, J.C. Tretter, the center / NFL PA president, was the player coach as well. He's literally, we're gonna play there, we're gonna come on the sideline and make adjustments. Yeah, he was doing all that. So I was like, oh, this is nuts. But yeah, man. So knowing that like I said, from center to right tackle, all three positions are listed as questionable, you already have to assume. Well, TJ coming back. TJ is on a defensive. I mean, he's a defense player of the year front runner, man. Like he's on that type of trajectory right now. This is going to be a tough matchup for Conklin if he was healthy. But now you're talking about him being questionable. Yeah, it's going to push him to his limits, man. And then you still got Tua, who's going to be lined up on that guard. Obviously, on the backside now, you're not going to get Cam versus Bitonio. You'll get Cam versus Michael Dunn. That's the guy they have slated to start right now. So, and when I asked the beat writer about Michael Dunn, he said that he, decent, but he's nowhere near what, but like that drop off will be felt. He says he feel like Bitonio not being out there is viewed the same way as Stefanski not being on that sideline for Baker. That's how they're viewing that loss of him. They think it's very significant. Absolutely, man. So that's, like I said, that's from the Browns beat writer. That's his words, not mine. I'm just relaying the message, baby. But yeah, that's definitely how he painted the picture for Bitonio as well.
Okay. Yeah. I know they didn't have Chubb in our first game, but I'm thinking with our guys being back and these injuries and people missing in their lineup, I think we're going to be doing pretty decent against the run here. My
biggest thing is this. The success they had on the ground last week, it was due to players that are going to be playing this week. That's my only concern. In terms of some of the missed tackles and terms of some of the miscommunication. Absolutely. Absolutely. So for me, I still think if they don't wrap up and get that part of their game fixed, you're still going to have some of these issues. Because let's be real, Vince, Avery, Williamson, those guys were out there for a portion of the game.
Well, we might be getting one player back, though.
Yeah, true. It's a possibility. Definitely is a possibility. And we'll get to him.
I was going to say, I want to bring him up later.
We'll definitely get to him, man. But to me, that's more of the bigger issue. The fundamentals, just wrapping up, not sometime, every time. Getting aligned and communicating, not some of the time, every time. Those weren't issues that were due to younger players being out there or guys that won't be out here playing significant ball come playoff. Those are players that are going to be starting, come playoff time. So that's why for me, I'm like, I still am a little uneasy. The only reason I feel a little bit better with our defense versus their run game is Bitonio being out. I know Cam is he's gonna walk the dog with this Michael Dunn. He's done way better players a lot worse. I fully anticipate that from Cam because that is Cam's MO. It doesn't matter who he's lined up against. He's a McDonald's number one. You know what you get no matter what country you're in. That's what he's giving you. That's my guy. So I think to me, I'm more excited about that element than necessarily us just saying, well, hey man, we got these guys coming back. Cause I'm like, no, they were out there. They were definitely out there. You know what I mean? That's just my perspective on it.
Okay.
But you got to wrap up though. That's gonna be the big part. Wrapping up for 4 quarters.
Do we want to get into that player that didn't play last week?
Man. Yeah.
Spillane.
Yeah, they're talking about he could potentially be back out there, man.
What are your expectations? Snap counts? What are we going to have him be doing if he does play?
To me, if he is healthy, because that's going to be the big thing. For me personally, coming back from knee injuries, that first game back, you are nowhere near healthy. You're nowhere near ready to go. But in this scenario, I don't know what that is going to be for him if he's 80%, 90%. We know he's not going to be 100%. I don't care what he says publicly. That's not going to be the case. So to me, I'm heavy Avery Williamson and Vince Williams. Those are the guys I'm leaning on. Spillane will play because he's definitely earned that right, but it's solely going to be based on what he looks like in practice. How is he moving? Okay, because it's not like he was this 4-3 guy, right? Or this big, like, bruising thumper. He's a good athlete, right? Good enough athlete, very smart, can make plays. And he saw that, right? He showed he could do it in coverage, can move well enough, right? That's with him being healthy. And it was still a big question around him. Now you're talking about a knee injury that's going to limit his mobility potentially. That's my only concern with him. I would need to just see him look healthy for me to feel confident with his role expanding now that it's playoffs, because it is the playoffs and you don't have that luxury of, let's try this guy out. And if it works, great. But if not, we'll correct it next week. That's not a given. So to me, I would much rather lean on the guys that I know are 100% healthy.
Yeah.
And if he is good to go, you get him in there. And if he makes plays and his role expands, sure. But I'm not thinking heavy Spillane early on.
It's almost like the opposite of when we brought Avery Williamson.
Yes.
Because we had Spillane, he kept making plays. It's why take Spillane off the field?
Right.
So in this case, we've had Avery Williamson over these past 4 or 5 games being the main guy, even like Vince Williams. So Spillane's coming in off this injury. It's like, all right, you kind of ease him in. You ease him in just like you would have with Avery Williamson. Like, you're not taking the healthy dudes off the field automatically in these do or die games.
And I think it would be different if this was still the combination of Avery Williamson and Marcus Allen. If that was the case, then it's like, hey, I don't care, that you're 70 or 80%.
Because they've been Avery and Vince have been playing well for the most part, right?
But I'm like, it's certain things that a legit linebacker compared to a converted safety, they're not going to be able to do. Is very different than the DeCastro versus Dotson and Fowler conversation that we had, right? In terms of 80% of DeCastro versus 100% of Dotson or 100% of Fowler. This is different because they don't all play the same position. Marcus Allen, he was converted there. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what he does. Fowler's been there for a whole year and even showed last year that he could start there. And he has a history, even when he was on practice squad, of playing every position on the offensive line. So that would be the only scenario where I could see it changing for Spillane. But since that's not the case, since you will have Vince and Avery out there together, I don't think you mess with that too much. Like I said, you sprinkle Spillane in where you want to, but as a whole, I feel like those are the two guys that have to, to really run the show. Now, that could change if Avery's out there playing bad blowing coverages, if Vince is still showing signs of, the COVID stuff from a cardio standpoint, well then, yeah, you operate a little bit differently. But if we're going in this thing and we're thinking everything is as we just laid out, yeah, I'm leaning heavy with Avery and Vince.
Okay.
What about you, man? What you thinking?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same way. I'm definitely going to defer to you on that one because I think Spillane was playing well before he got hurt, but at the same time, you got to be realistic with these expectations.
But because the reason I ask is some people they love players so much they're just like, bro, I want that player back out there, regardless if he is 100%, if he's the better player. I just want him out there, and you just never know sometimes because Spillane. I mean, we talked Spillane, man. He blew up. Think about that, man. He went from unknown to a big deal in Steeler Nation. So you just never know how people think of him. Like, some people might be saying, hey, man, put him back out there, bracing all. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. If anything, it goes back to what I was saying. You don't want to overlook the opponent, but I think this is almost a good game to maybe you get him in there for 10% of the snaps, 20% of the snaps. If we're up and everything, I don't know if we are going to put him in critical moments if the game's tied or something like that. And maybe it goes back to what you're saying. If Avery and Vince are playing fine, there's no need to be rushing that because you don't know what the reaction is with his knee or just his play in general coming off this injury.
Right. And I will say this as well, though. And this could be the only one of the caveats in terms of why we could see Spillane out there early, or why we could potentially see Spillane if he shows that he's healthy in practice. They could go ahead and put him back out there with Vince, and this is why. When you watch
with Vince or with Avery?
No, with Vince.
Okay,
and this is the only reason. Okay, Avery is still very much new to the defense, right? We talked about even though he's been here for a couple of weeks now, it's not like he had a full training camp, still hasn't went through a full season. We talked about how he had to unlearn the Jet stuff and learn our stuff kind of on the fly, and then kind of got thrust into action once Spillane went down. He even talked about, how Vince helps him in terms of getting aligned and stuff, right? Last game, he still was struggling with some of the communication. He still was struggling with some of the concepts from just how in Pittsburgh we pass off certain routes, how we match routes versus just traditional zoning. And from a defensive standpoint, it was still some of that stuff that showed up on tape. So this could be a scenario where if they feel Spillane is healthy, because of his familiarity with the scheme, because of the playmaking that he already showed when he was out there and not a ton of mental errors. I mean, we talked about it, when he got those opportunities, he was pretty much clean from an assignment standpoint. That could be one of the reasons why they could potentially go back, because like I said, definitely this last game, Avery did struggle a little bit more with some of the cover stuff, not necessarily from an ability standpoint, but just more so from an assignment standpoint, just a little bit. So like I said, that could be one of those things that they just feel more comfortable with him versus him in that scenario. But outside of that, I don't see why you change, Vince and Avery.
And with the practice, it's something that we don't know right now.
Right. Yeah.
So, if he is playing good in practice, that might actually switch your opinion a little bit, where you're more apt to make that switch earlier on in the game.
We just, this is 2020/21, and we don't get access to practice right now. If only this was,
Did you last year?
Absolutely.
You were able to like watch practice?
We were always down there. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, our broadcast by show right, literally. Practice field was right there. We were right under the little covered canopy, right on the south side, watching everything. We couldn't say anything while we're doing the shows and stuff like that, obviously. But yeah, in any of those TV stuff that we would do, big glad, you're watching everything, bro.
Broadcast the practice. Oh man, this dude just got burned.
Yeah, bro. And no, they're serious. Like because you have beat writers out there as well, and that's the big. They're like, y'all aren't.
Did anyone have you ever been around someone that let one slip?
Yeah, in Buffalo actually, and the dude got in trouble. He got in trouble for it. Yeah, because
this seems like such a benign thing.
No, they take it serious. They're like, if we're gonna give you access to our practice, this is intimate information. This is stuff that nobody knows except our guys. And there's certain things that we don't want out there. So if you tweet something or put something out there that we didn't want, then that's an issue. So that's why they literally would have to, like, if they're talking about specific plays, they even in Pittsburgh, you have to first confirm with the player that, hey, did that happen while you were out there? Yes, it did. Okay, did that happen when you were out there? Yes, it did. And then they got to go check with Bert and say, hey, Bert, can I put this out there? And Bert has to say, yes, you got the green light. And then they put it out there. If not, if they don't follow that protocol, they will get in trouble for that. Whether there's losing credentials, whatever it may be, they do have ramifications for it, though. Damn. Without a doubt, bro. It's serious because, I mean, it might be something as simple as, he caught this pass, but then it could be, well, man, imagine if we would have got reports of the Philly special happening on Tuesday because the beat writer said, they got this new trick play. They ran around the goal line. It was like Foles walking around. Then before you know, he just sneaked out the back and caught the ball. Philly would lose their mind.
Or if you just say something, you give a hot take like, oh man, this guy looks like shit in practice. And all of a sudden he's answering questions in the press conference. And
absolutely. Stuff. So that's the big reason around why they're not allowed. If you're out there, if you get the credentials to show up to that stuff, you're not allowed to say certain things. That's why, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. It's so many rules with this stuff, bro.
Do the Patriots secretly have some like radio people on some teams?
Trust me, man. We definitely had our concerns at times.
No way.
We definitely had our concerns at times. I'm telling you, man. I listen. It was a time I was on the south side, man, at practice, and I've seen them. It was a building that was under construction in the parking lot over from us, right? So obviously we share a parking lot with Pitt, split the building. Across the train tracks, though, it was another like building under construction, right? And it was taking a little bit longer than we thought it should have taken. And we just so happened to be playing the Patriots. And literally, I've seen them in the middle of our practice, stop a practice, send the security to go over there and tell the people to leave. I promise you, I've seen it not once, multiple times. And then you know what they did this past offseason, right? Not this year with COVID, but the year before. You know what they did to counter that? They put a big like canopy tarp block thing that they literally will raise up for practice. It's like 50 feet in the air just to block the viewpoint from anybody over there. Yeah. And it was solely because of we're playing the Patriots. This building's taking too long. I don't think there was really construction workers. Why are they sitting over here watching us on the field? No exaggeration, bro. I can't make this up. And literally watch
that was the only week that happened.
It was the only week. Any other time we didn't say anything. We would wave. We've had fans that would pull up cardboard by, I love you this, I love you that person. We're like, all right, cool. Like this is fun. Anytime the trainer, he hunking home. We like little kids. Like everybody comes all love. Patriots week? Oh no. Who is that in the parking lot? Are those binoculars? What are they doing in that car? Hey, go check that out. Go get him up out of there. You're like, what? There's a person walking on the other side because there's a fence on the other side. Kind of looks like the Chicago Cubs, like the fence with the like green like border, little ivy on it. Oh yeah, it was a person peeking through the ivy. You can barely see anything, mind you. Peeking through the ivy. Stop practice again. Sent the guy over there. Security, get him up out of here. And this is on like the actual like the strip part of it where you could just walk. He just stopped just peeking through there. Get him up out of here. Can't make this up, bro.
Oh my
Cannot
God.
make this up, man.
Only happened during Patriots.
Only Patriots week, though. Can't make it up. You're like, bro, you for real right now? Like, y'all are tripping. Yep.
No way.
Yes, bro.
That's hilarious.
Yes, bro.
And devastating at the same time. It makes me sad. It makes me sad.
Here we go, Steelers.
That makes
so yes, people do have those concerns, man. But anywho, it's about that time.
What time? Predictions?
It's time, man. Is it time for them predictions? I'm ready for predictions, baby. It's time.
Okay. Actually, I haven't thought about this one. This one's going to be off the fly.
Mine too. I'm not even going to lie. Mine too.
Mine's going to be on the fly.
I'm so ready.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
All right. I will go first now. There's another question I have, right?
This is a clean slate for you too.
Yeah, because am I supposed to pick? Because we picked against them last time and they low-key won. I ain't like that. It made me feel uncomfortable.
Well,
last week I picked against them.
I mean, we technically, in a way, did win this last week, right? I
don't want to be that.
We won the lottery of.
We did
getting the Browns in the first round matchup.
It definitely worked. I did the live stream. I didn't wear the hat, but I had the hat with us. It was in the video.
Like it was. You talk about best case scenario. It was best case scenario.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
We wanted
I don't
to
know
accomplish.
if it necessarily has to be a win on the record book to be considered a win.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I don't want to do this.
I think you know what. I think you just got to go with your heart.
Go with my heart.
That's what I think.
I would love to go with my heart. Actually, I will go with my heart then. All right. So for me, my heart says. Actually, I've been on this road before. I've seen this story play out before. It was a cold, snowy-ish Wednesday night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A team ravished by COVID coming into the building, double-digit dogs, thinking that we would just run them out the building from start to finish. And we went down to the wire. So with that being said, I will go 24-17 Steelers. Yep, that's where I'm going. As much as I would love to come up here and say 28-3, 31-7, much as I would love to do that, fooled me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, fool me can't get fooled again. That's what they said on the song. All right, so with that being said, 24-17 Steelers. Yep, win plus cover.
I don't know what to do here. Because people are calling for it. They're calling for a certain something.
I know they are. Might as well give them to them.
They've been calling for it, but...
Might as well give them what they want.
Oh, man.
You know they want it.
Is it disrespectful to bring it back, though?
and the beard's kind of growing too.
The eyebrow's coming back.
God, the eyebrow. Let's go. Oh, man. Is it time for it? It got us. How far did it get us? It got us to the 3 seed, you know? Is it time? Is it time? Can we get him? Is he in there? Can you get the people what they want? Get the people what they want, Deke. They need it. You gave your State of the Union address. You done that.
Yeah.
It's time. The return. It's time.
The return to form.
Yeah. Eyebrow back. Beard growing in. Mm-hmm. Got a little locks thing going back here. A little curl on the hair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely time.
I do think.
Oh, yeah.
People don't understand what's about to happen for this playoff run.
Okay. Let's go.
For my prep for this, actually, I didn't watch any games.
Oh, I like that, man.
I really did not.
Who cares?
All I did was watch Big Ben's press conferences.
That's all that matters.
And he said a few things.
What did he say?
That really hit home.
Oh, wait. Yes, he did.
You never know how many chances you're going to get at this.
Factamondo.
You really don't.
Never take it for granted.
You can't.
Can't do it.
He's motivated, dude.
Ooh,
He's
super motivated.
He's motivated.
Car full of gas. He ready to go. Mm-hmm.
He knows what opportunity is ahead.
Whew, big time opportunity, man. Confetti and hat and t-shirts. Let's go.
And he's not going to take it for granted.
Can't take it for granted, especially after last year. He knows.
So with that being said, Steelers.
Yeah.
27-13.
Oh, yeah! Let's go, Deke! That's what I'm talking about. 27-13. You hear it. And on top of that, shout out to the fact that, both of our picks coincide perfectly with this next thing I'm about to say. Because both of our picks have us winning by a certain amount of points. Okay? And a certain amount of points that are going to be associated with a little bit of a wager. Because we know that DraftKings Sportsbook is the top sportsbooking app in America and is safe, secure, and reliable for all the first-time users. If they use the promo code Moats, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. We know that. But they also have a particular line for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Got them at -6. Got to win by 6 points or more.
It was, 3.5?
Was 3.5 initially.
Yeah.
Now it's at -6. You get -108. So that's still decent like that. I like that. And both of our score predictions have us winning and covering. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you wants to make a little bit of that money, a little bit of turkey, a little bit of those greenbacks, baby, take the Steelers -6, baby, and tell them Moats and Deke sent you.
Yeah, I think you take it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it. I did want to actually ask you something. Maybe do we have like 5 minutes? Are we close?
It's 50 right now.
It's 50. Okay. I wanted to do something like just a little social media vid, maybe.
All right, go ahead. Let's do it. Because you can edit that right quick. Yeah.
It's just the picks.
Right,
It's simply the picks for the games coming up.
What you got? Ooh.
That's what I mean. It's just gonna be real quick. Like,
let's knock it
all
out.
right, Bills cool too. Do you got?
I got Bills. Who you got?
Yeah, I think Bills are gonna win.
Okay.
Then we got Seahawks Rams.
Give me the Rams.
No way.
Give me the Rams.
No way. I got Seahawks.
All right.
Seahawks, Russell Wilson. Saints Bears.
Saints.
Little Trubisky upset.
Trubisky's been hot, and the Saints have struggled in the first round of the playoffs these past couple of years.
At New Orleans, though, I'm taking the Saints.
Last year, who went down there? Your boy Kirk Cousins. Yeah, walk-off, overtime. Cal Rudolph. Yeah, big energy.
I'm taking the Saints.
Okay. All right.
Them backing into the playoffs like that, I don't really like it.
Okay.
Not saying it hasn't been done before where you back in and somehow you go on a little run, but
Stranger
I don't
things
like
have
it.
happened.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I'm taking the Saints.
Okay.
Steelers, Browns, we already picked that
Yeah.
one. What else do we got?
Ravens, Titans.
Ravens, Titans. I think Ravens are going to win.
I do too, but I want to see the Titans do it. I'm enjoying Derrick Henry, and I want to just keep seeing it. And I know if they lose, I can't enjoy watching him play anymore.
Okay.
This year.
So what are you picking Ravens?
I'm picking Ravens, but I want the Titans to win.
You're rooting for
I'm
the
picking
Titans.
Ravens though. Yeah.
We're missing one.
Tampa and Washington.
Tampa.
Yeah, and then. Yeah, I think that's the only one then. Because Green Bay got the bye. Kansas City has the bye.
That's it. I think we went through them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 3 NFC, 3. Yeah, because we got the Rams, Seahawks, Bears, and Saints, and then Washington and Tampa. And then for us, we said Colts, Bills, Ravens, Titans, and then Steelers, Browns. So yeah, we're covered. Yep.
I think we're good.
I like it.
So that's it. I just wanted to do that real quick.
That was fun though. That was good.
Yeah,
that was good. So I hope y'all have enjoyed it the way that we have. Enjoy our picks. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in, all the subscribers. And until next time.
Peace.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited about this guy here. Man, 3rd round pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the 83rd selection overall out of Michigan State. Cornerback of your Pittsburgh Steelers, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Layne. Justin, man, how you doing today, baby? Everything good on your end?
Man, pretty good, man. I like that intro too, man.
Oh, come on, man. Listen, man, you big time, baby. You the third round draft pick, playing some good ball this year. And speaking of this year, man, just talk about how you've been handling this expanded role, because as we said, you have been very impressive in your opportunities this year, man.
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to just keep chipping away, man, at the opportunities, man. And just keep showing up at work every day, man. Just keep punching there, man. Just trying to get this ring, man, this year with these guys. I got some good guys in front of me, so, man, it is always a good time.
Absolutely, man.
Can you talk about the defense as a whole? Because it seems like you guys have been pretty resilient just with some of these players going in and out with COVID, injuries and whatnot. But for the most part, the defense has held up throughout the season. Could you talk about you guys as a unit, as a defense, and just kind of the mentality that you guys have had?
We just got some great guys, some great leadership. I mean, you know, especially in the back end, defensive guys with Mink and Joe, those guys. I mean, we kind of just try to just watch as much film as possible and just, I mean, kind of do our job.
And now for you, what's been the biggest difference from year 1 to year 2? And how did you handle year 1 not having that expanded role?
Doing great, man. I'm just trying to learn as much as possible with the roles that I have, and just try to make the most of them. I mean, we got Joe and Steve, and those guys have been nothing but help to me every day. Anytime I got a question, them guys the first guy trying to help me or anything. So, I mean, it's just great, man. Like, it's just overall a great group to be in. Like, ain't no hating, none of that. We just here to play ball, and get better.
And, man, you hit right on the head right there. That's major. When you talk about having veteran guys that are humble and are willing to help, that's not a guarantee, man. I've been places as a rookie where you get the vets telling you the wrong thing, man. So definitely appreciate hearing that from you, man.
Yeah, you know how it is, man.
You mentioned Joe and Steven. What do you think's the biggest thing that you've learned from both of those guys, whether it's on the field or off the field?
Just how those guys work on and off the field. I mean, you kind of hello, but just on and off the field, like what those guys do before the game, after the game, whether they're taking hot tub showers or whatever, just little stuff that I just pick up on that I actually didn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't know in college, but I mean, I didn't think it was this serious until I got here, and I just see how they take care of their body and how they approach the game every week. So I mean, it's just kind of great, man.
Has Joe helped you with your shoe game at all? Has he hooked you up with any? Has he given you any Jordans?
Yeah, man, he helped me a little bit, but I don't think nobody can match his shoe game. He on a different level. Nobody even try to even match his shoe game.
Hey, it's certain people you just leave him alone. I'm like, let him just stay over there in his own lane. We're not even gonna play that game.
Yeah, Joe shoot me shoes all the time, but I mean, I ain't no trying to compete with him. Cool.
Man, so you're heading into your first NFL playoffs, wild card weekend, man. How are you feeling about this, man?
Man, I'm excited, man. I'm just with the opportunity, just in the league. I mean, you kind of just gotta every opportunity you gotta use it like it's your last. So I'm just ready, man. Ready to run full face into this.
Absolutely. I like the energy too, man.
Now, going back to the beginning of the year, you were put on the COVID/reserve list. Can you talk about just your feelings at that time and kind of how you process that? Because you're coming off your rookie year, and I'm sure you're trying to make a big jump coming into your second year, getting more playing time and whatnot. Like, what was that? I guess was a setback for you. Like, how did you process that?
I mean, I kind of felt it was kind of a setback for me because I mean, I had put on some additional weight. I was in shape. I was feeling good in camp and everything, and that kind of just literally the first week of camp I missed probably the first week and a half of camp. So I mean, that's kind of, especially for a person like me trying to come in and compete and try to get a new spot at the beginning of the year. I mean, I kind of feel like I kind of was trying to hang on from that back end, but it still worked out. So I mean, it all worked out.
Respect, absolutely, man. And just talking a little bit, man, I want to transition to, you choosing Michigan State, right? Talk a little about the college element, because we always talk what's currently going on, what's currently going on with ball and things like that. But let the people know, just in terms of why you chose Michigan State over some of the other Big Ten schools or other offers that you might have had.
I get this question all the time. But I mean, it's a lot of many different components that went into it. But I mean, just where I felt comfortable, and just kind of, I knew some guys from when I was younger that I played ball with, and we all decided that we were going to go to Michigan State. So I mean, that was kind of, yeah. We was trying to get do some shit, do some stuff down there. So man,
you're good, man. You're good.
You're good on this podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So man, but I mean, it worked out for the best. So man, I'm just.
Now with those other guys, did they make it to the NFL level as well?
Yeah, we got a couple like Tristan Jackson, Cam Chambers. He just got his law degree. We didn't go, but he played some big snaps there. Donnie Corley just going into the draft this year. So man, we got some guys, man.
I like it, man. Absolutely, man. Shout out to the Michigan State talent pool, baby.
Oh yeah, Spartan Dog. Let's get it.
There it is. So, talk about your draft as well, man. In terms of you getting selected, did you have an idea that the Steelers were going to be interested in you? Did you think you were going somewhere else? Just take us through that whole process, man.
It's crazy because I actually had a feeling that I was going to the Steelers, and I don't know why. Just how stuff work out. I always been the type to go against the grain. So like, I'm from Ohio, but I went to Michigan State. I went to Michigan State as a receiver, but I came out as a corner. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I went to Pittsburgh. So I mean, I kind of just, like, when I went on my top 30 visits to Pittsburgh and how I was talking to Coach T and everything, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to be
here. And now, speaking of, getting back to this current state, right? Going into this game this weekend, everything surrounding the Browns, from their coach being out, some of the COVID and injury issues that they're dealing with. How do you guys guard against overlooking them?
Coach T already kind of just instilled in us that mindset. I mean, we're kind of just trying to shut everything out, especially this week, because we know we hear all the noise. Everybody hear all the noise, all the extra stuff. But I mean, we kind of just really trying to just take that extra time, really just to just lock in. Don't worry about nothing. Don't answer no responses. None of that. Just come to work. So I mean, that's kind of what we on this week. So I mean, I feel pretty great going into this matchup.
Does your dad still secretly root for the Browns?
Nah.
Really? He switched over?
He know better than that. He's too loyal for that.
Hey, man, I was curious about that as well, man. You never know. I'm like, dang, his dad was a diehard Browns fan. Like, what's going to happen here?
Man, he'll fight a Browns. He a fighter Browns fan. No. He a diehard Steelers. No, man.
There it is. Now, Justin, the last question we have for you before we let you go, man. Just talk about your welcome to the NFL moment. That moment you finally were like, all right, I'm here, whether it was good or bad.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, let me see. That's crazy. That's the first time I got that question. Welcome to the NFL moment. Let's see. I probably have to say when we played the Tennessee Titans in preseason. I wouldn't even count preseason. But I mean, I came in cover 2 and I had a pretty good hit. I was like, dang, I'm really here. But another one's when we first played at Heinz Field last year for the first time, when I actually suited up for the first time. And that was just a big moment. I'm just like, wow, like I almost got emotional, like suiting up, getting ready, because I'm like, wow, I'm really here.
Living that dream, baby. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, Justin, man, we appreciate you, man. And trust me, that was an awesome interview. Appreciate you sharing this with us. And, man, we just wish you nothing but health and success the rest of your journey, man. All right?
Oh, yeah. Appreciate that, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yep.
Yes,
appreciate
indeed.
it.
Appreciate you.
Peace.
Take care.